Hey y'all, today I am going to be showing y'all how I mash in a rye whiskey, doing a beta glucan rest to help combat the stickiness and gumminess that you can get from a rye. So what I've got behind me, I've got my boiling pot, I've got some water, and I'm going to go ahead and get it up to about 135 degrees and put in all my rye, just the rye. Now this is unmalted rye, and we're going to hold it for about half hour at about anywhere from 120 to 130 degrees, and that is going to help break up all those beta glucans in the rye grain that causes all the gumminess. So I'm gonna get the pot going. I'm gonna come back when I'm adding the grain. Alright guys, we got our water up to temp at about 136 degrees. I'm gonna add our rye and we're gonna wrap it in a sleeping bag. We're gonna go ahead and put some enzymes in it to help us thin it out. We have our glucobuster enzymes. That's going to help combat those beta glucans. This is 24 pounds of rye. are we at for temperature? On 130 degrees, that's perfect. Alright, this is our glue combustor. Mix that in. I'm gonna wrap that up in a sleeping bag, and we're gonna let that rest for 30 minutes. And when I come back, I'm gonna bring the temperature up, and we're gonna add our malted grains, our oats, and our corn that is gelatinizing inside the house. So I gelatinize the corn separate, so I don't have to bring the rye up to 190 degrees. I'll be back. All right, we back. We got our half hour done on our beta glucan rest, and let's see what we got. All right, so we had still at 130 degrees. What I got right here in this small pot is my corn. I did that separate. I actually gelatinized it in the oven. Next time I do that, I might make a video on how that's done. Add our corn. Put a little bit of water in here just to rinse that out. From here, you're gonna have to stir while we have the fire on. We're gonna light the fire. We're gonna get it up to about 160. We're gonna put our oats. And we're gonna put our malted barley. Let's just see where we at. Alright guys, we got it up to about 158. We're going to add the rest of our grains, add our enzymes, and we're going to wrap it up and let it mash. already added some high temp alpha when I was gelatinizing the corn, but a little bit extra won't hurt. Trying something new, a buddy swears by. 5.2 stabilizer. So I'm gonna try it out. 1 tablespoon per 5 gallons of water used in the brew. So this is a 20 gallon mash. So this is going to be 4 tablespoons. We're gonna put 5, 4.5. Alright, we are sitting let's call it 155 degrees, 154. That's perfect. I'm gonna put that in bed for an hour. Wrap it up in a sleeping bag. Let it do its thing. And then I'm gonna go take me a nap. And I'll come back when it's time to check it. Alright guys, that little nap turned into a big nap, so 3 hours later, I'll go ahead and check to see what we got. We'll do our iodine test. Alright. I don't know how good you can see that. Oh, that's a better view. Okay. So, I'm going to put 1 drop, 2 drops. Okay. Basically the same color. That means there are no more starches, and our mashing is complete. So I'm going to transfer that into the fermenter in the shed, put the rest of our water, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, I got everything transferred to the fermenter and topped it off with the rest of my water. First things first, Check our pH. I don't know how good y'all can see that. 5.6. That's about as good as you can ask for. Now I am trying out that 5.2 stabilizer. So to start off with, I'm not gonna add any oyster shells. I want to see what that stuff could do. Now, let's go ahead and get a reading. See where we stand. Okay, we are at about 1058, which I was shooting for 1060. As of now, there's no sugar added. I am fixing to add sugar. But I wanted to check to see what kind of conversion I did get, and it's pretty spot on to what it needed to be. All right, let's give this a good stir. All right. Let's see what we got now. All right, we are at 1073. We're gonna leave it right there. That's beautiful. So, the only thing we got left to do, check our tip and see if we can pitch our yeast. Mash got a pretty good taste. All right. We're at 118 degrees, so nope, we will not be pitching yeast right now. I'm gonna have to come back probably sometime in the morning and pitch our yeast. But that is how I mash in a rye whiskey. You know, have a great day. Shine on.